How was my week? Oh, it was good. Watched literally, a season of Survivor in 2.5 days. I could have done 3 days if I had really committed, but 2 days if I really committed. But
We should definitely do like a reality show episode where we might have to like watch a whole season or something.
that's a lot. I like the songs because I could do it. I could
It
do the
was
homework in 5 minutes.
Welcome to episode 3 of Two Brothers Argue Over Everything.
We're here on location for me, Baltimore.
In Baltimore. I am just in a room. I'm not in the void anymore. I guess we lost our funding.
Yeah, a VC fund money ran out.
Mm-hmm. So today's topics was music, and Michael gave me a country artist, Kasey Musgraves. Right?
Yes, Kasey Musgraves.
And I gave Michael a rapper called Roddy Ricch.
Spelled with 2 C's.
Yes, and 2 D's.
2 D's. So I don't know who should we start with?
We can start with you.
Start with me?
Okay.
The shit you gave me?
Shit, how dare you?
Oh my God, this is garbage, dude. All right, let me talk about Roddy Ricch for a second. I'm whatever about rap music. I like some rappers. I like Lil Wayne. I like I like some Rick Ross songs. I'm very inconsistent when it comes to what rap music I like. I like Eminem.
Saying I don't like Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, I don't like lyricists. I don't like really dense lyricists sometimes. Where I have to watch it. I have to listen to it 12 times to appreciate it. Where I have to have the lyrics open. That's not how I like to listen to rap music.
How about Eminem?
Well, Eminem, you can listen to it the first time and get all the things. Wu-Tang, it's kind of like, I don't know. Eminem was also my gateway to rap. Like a lot of,
Because he's white? Wow.
Yeah. Like a lot of people my age were like, Eminem was like their gateway. Like the Not Afraid song, like the Recovery was like my first real rap album I ever listened to.
Rap song I listened to was like a Lil Wayne song with Eminem. So
was that what song was that?
I don't know.
That's a jam though. I remember hating it, and then I've grown to like it as I learned to respect Lil Wayne.
Is it the one where he like throws the world in the ground? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's it. Maybe. Oh, is Pick the World Up? No, that's a Lil Wayne song. Anyway, Roddy Ricch. I don't like this kind of rap where there's literally no point to it and it's not that funny. Like rap songs can be pointless but still be funny. Like all of Lil Wayne's stuff at his peak of his powers, there's no point to any of his songs. It just goes all over the place. There's no theme. There's nothing really connecting it, but it's funny. You laugh. Rick Ross is trying to give you this vibe and it's funny. Usually, Roddy Ricch is like not funny at all. What?
I don't think Rick Ross is trying to be funny.
But it is funny, and I find it funny when he says, Atlantic, and he rhymes it again with Atlantic. Mm-hmm. It's awesome, and Every Day I'm Hustling is such a vibe. But Roddy Ricch, I'm sorry, there's nothing there for me. Nothing. It's not funny. It's super misogynistic, and it's like and it's just, and the chorus is catchy, but that's it.
Michael, you're lucky that you didn't give me a male country singer, because then you would have given me misogynistic songs as well. That's just how it works. People in pop culture treat women like objects. I'm sorry to break it to you, but that's how it is, and it sucks. It shouldn't be like that, but that's the way it is.
I just want to point out to the audience the hypocrisy of my brother, because for 2 straight episodes, I gave him things. He called me out for Kill La Kill and for Swiss Army Man, and he's presenting himself like I am this man who stands up for women and like bad portrayals and like I was grossed out by that and blah blah blah. And then he gives me Roddy Ricch with garbage lyrics.
Kill La Kill is a teenager who's dressed up sexually, and your fucking Swiss Army Man is a creepy ass dude stalking a woman. Okay, so don't give me this comparison between calling somebody a bitch and stalking and pedophilia. So
your man, I'm going to call him your man because he is. Roddy Ricch literally rhymed New Jack City with ass to titties. That's the level of artistry we're dealing with.
That's a brilliant line right there.
It's gorgeous. It was like honestly, in the two songs, that was the only time I laughed because of how bad it was. Wow. And I wish it had more moments like that if it was more consistently that stupid. And it isn't. It's only that stupid very rarely. And it's upsetting. I don't know.
So, well, one thing you missed out on because you're not in the rap pop culture is when the first song I sent you. So I sent Michael 2 songs, The Box and Every Season. And The Box is a famous song in like memes. And because of the
yeah. I remember you used to
a lot of memes that had like windshield wipers. They'd put it and go
yeah.
So that makes it funnier. And then I don't know. I saw like SpongeBob memes where like Patrick and SpongeBob were in the box listening to the box, and Squidward opens it up and nothing's happening, and then he closes it up and then you hear pulling out the coop with the lot. So
the memes are funny.
The memes are funny, and I think the eater is funny, and I think it's so the vibe of this is not to be listened to. It's more the Lil Wayne partying in a club kind of atmosphere. It's not the I'm gonna sit down and consider this album for Pulitzer Prize winner like Kendrick Lamar or something like that. Yeah. It's let's go out, have fun, and what just dance. Because you're telling me those were good dancing beats. Wow, how dare you?
Not really. I'm sorry.
Dana and I went and saw Roddy Ricch live in Denver.
Oh my God! No way!
Dana's going to hate you so much. We had a great time.
I respected Dana's opinion until this moment.
He played his album all the way through. The whole crowd was singing along. It was great.
You freaking Zoomers. It's so weird. The chorus was catchy. I'll give you that.
He's a good singer. You don't think he's a good singer?
No, he can carry a tune, but his choruses are catchy. But as soon as the rap starts, it's just it's like that's why I use Lil Wayne. You used Lil Wayne before. It's like Lil Wayne at the peak of his powers was lyrically really like he would hit you with tons of lines, tons of punchlines. He would hit you with a lot of things. He would surprise you with the lyrical choices. I was never surprised, really, with any of these Roddy Ricch lyrics.
May I throw another Lil Man at you that also, I believe, is from Atlanta? Lil Jon. He is not very lyrical, but what is he? A hype man, good for partying in the club.
Roddy Ricch is not as hype as Lil Jon is.
No, but it's the same kind of vibe, where it's meant for like having a good time, not being a hypercritical person like you.
So it's like turn off your brain music. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Roddy Ricch is?
Yeah, that's a lot of what music is, don't you think? Is turn it off and listen. What do you think like jam bands are all about?
I guess I just didn't like the vibe of it because you're vibing basically to misogyny, and I'm not a.
That's
Lil Wayne better shit.
Dude, Michael, that's Rick Ross. What are you talking about?
No, like, if you're listening to Lil Wayne, you're listening to jokes. If you're listening to Rick Ross, you're laughing. It's like Rick Ross is more about killing people and making money.
Eminem doesn't talk about women in a poor way.
All the time, but that's not the songs I listen to. You sent me the fucking.
All of Eminem's songs contain that. All rap songs contain that.
So,
Eminem. This Lil Wayne is funny because he uses lines like "real G's move in silence like lasagna," and that's genius. But some people are there for singing and having a good time, like Chris Brown or Usher. These are like
you just use Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Example? Are you kidding me?
These are just hip hop artists that sing, that are meant for having a good time in a club.
So Roddy Ricch is more of a singer, in your opinion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you think he wasn't like rapping?
Yeah, I guess he was more singing. I guess I'm more interested in what he'll be doing a few years from now, where he's gotten all this garbage lyrics out of his system, where it's just about how much money he has and who he's
Well,
having sex with and blah. It's like,
I'm
it's
sure
just like, come
he
on,
wastes his money on his clothes and jewelry. I mean, like,
it's boring.
I saw him at this show in Denver, and his entire neck was sparkling, and his like massive wrist was sparkling. So I have a feeling he'll be spending all of that money and not holding on to it. So he might be coming out with a lot of music, but who knows if we'll be buying.
It'll be good. Yeah.
That's a problem with a lot of artists is they just waste their money and don't. I mean, who knows? It could just be all rented and he's being very cautious with his money, but I definitely
Well,
see him as like a Rolls Royce buyer.
a lot of the talented people stick around though, like Mac Miller, right? That's his name.
Well, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. But his first couple albums were like kind of, misogynistic, all over the place, like, party music.
Mhm.
And as he came out with albums, he matured a bit, and his music got more introspective and more interesting. And I hope Roddy Ricch will be there. But right now, it's like, I know you don't watch RuPaul, but like, there's a line that one of the drag queens says, Bianca Del Rio, where she's like, tells another queen, like, what do you do successfully?
Mhm.
And that's how I feel about Roddy Ricch. Is I'm like, yeah, you're like a B at most of these things, but what do you do successfully?
You don't think he's a good singer?
I mean, I guess yeah. Okay, maybe. But
I mean, he's also featured on some other songs you might have heard. He's like on Post Malone's Wow, but I think it's the remix.
okay,
But I don't know. He's a good feature. He did a song with the Baby. I don't think you'd like the Baby that much.
I'll be honest. I haven't listened much to him.
So,
I think I listened to his like biggest song, and I'm like, oh, is this it?
is it Suge?
Probably. I was like, oh, is this the guy that everyone's so hyped about? Like, I don't know.
Well, we've kind of really fallen apart as far as structure. So,
Did you? I don't think the structure worked for us last episodes.
It did not really keep us in any sort of time. Made it go longer. So it sounds like you don't like it because it's misogynistic and sounds like other rap, which is fair.
Yeah, I didn't get anything that new or that interesting about it. You know what I mean? It's catchy. He is a good singer. So maybe if he channels that in some way, I might be interested later on. But for now,
think that an artist has to be different for you to like them. Like they can't be the similar to another artist.
or they have to be really good at one particular thing, And I don't think Roddy Ricch is really good at any particular thing besides like, he's pretty good at singing, but I don't think he's like really good,
You should watch him singing along to a ukulele. That'll make you feel better.
All
Because
right.
then you hear him not singing with auto-tune. So
Okay.
there's that. But that's fair. I think I've said what I like about it. I like the fact that it's just fun music to have a good time to.
Yeah.
It's good for driving in the car if you have to spend time. And have you just want to be like in the car. But we can move forward if you don't have anything else.
I mean, I just kind of keep saying the same thing over and over again. I just didn't particularly enjoy it, and I do find it funny that you keep calling out the stuff I give you when you also recommend Jersey Shore, and this just full of blatant misogyny.
Let's talk about what you gave me then. If you're gonna talk about been talking about how I give you generic things. Okay, I give you generic things. Ant-Man was the most generic hero movie, Jersey Shore. It's a generic reality show. This is the most basic country music I have ever heard. Every single line she says is a fucking cliche,
All right.
and it's no originality to it whatsoever. She sounds exactly like the Indigo Girls in that first song, and is just trying to copy them.
The Indigo Girls.
Or
Wow. All right. Hold on. We got to explain. This is Kasey Musgraves. I gave James 2 songs because Kasey Musgraves doesn't actually, she's kind of a newer artist. Love is a Wild Thing and her kind of feature on Brooks and Dunn's Neon Moon. So those are the 2 songs I gave him. Which one are you talking about? Neon Moon?
talking about the first one.
Love is a Wild Thing?
Love is a Wild Thing. That was just filled with generic lines that I don't
Pulling
like.
up the lyrics now.
Generic, I'll pull it up too.
Okay.
Talking about love and how she, I like, they're both so generic that I'm crossing the lyrics over in my mind.
Okay.
It's just about her heartbreak and love. Wow, what an original thing for country music.
Everybody writes songs about love. People can't stop writing movies and songs and music, and plays, and people have written about love forever. So calling something like, oh, she's writing about love and calling it generic.
She's not saying anything. She's just saying the same things everyone else has said.
All right. Well, okay. So you didn't like her lyrical content.
No.
What did you think of her voice?
I thought, it's a basic country voice.
So I think I have a theory that every country. It's so funny because I showed James a song by Kit Moore. I sent you like a Kit Moore song a long time ago, just to like as an idea for like what I would send you. And I sent him like some terrible Kit Moore song that I like, and James was like, "This is the most basic country song I've ever heard." And then I sent him Kasey Musgraves, who's very different. And then James is like, this is the most basic country song I've ever heard. Every country song you ever hear is the most basic country song you've ever heard.
That's interesting. It's almost like all country music is the same. Isn't that the claim I'm trying to make? All country music sounds the same, and it's all the same recycled bullshit with easy chord riffs and cliche lyrics about love. That's all that was.
Wow. So,
like, there's no story, right? There's no story in her song. It's just love is a wild thing, right? It could be anywhere. Who knows? There's no story. It's not like I found love here, blah, blah, blah. This is what happened with my love, and like Neon Light, Neon Moon. Yeah. She's not like, this is what happened with my heart. I went through this. She's just like, oh, I'm so sad. I'm sad. It's sad. I'm sad because I'm alone. Yeah. You other people out there, you're alone too, right? You can relate to loneliness, right? We're relatable. They're not talking about their story and what they went through.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to read the chorus here. So she's describing the love that she's feeling. She says, running like a river, trying to find the ocean, flowers in the concrete, climbing over fences, blooming in the shadows, places that you can't see, climbing through the melody when the night bird sings, love is a wild thing. So that's the chorus. I think that's a pretty lyric. I don't know. Those are pretty lyrics.
Those are the most cliche things I've ever heard. Running like a river.
Oh my God, dude.
Flowers in the concrete. Like, come on. You really think that's deep?
I think it sounds nice though. It sounds nice when she sings it.
No, it only sounds nice because of her pretty voice. She does have a pretty voice.
Okay. So what is Dana think of you besmirching Kasey Musgraves? She likes Kasey Musgraves.
She agreed with me that when I said it put me to sleep. So there's that, but that's about it. I think she likes Kasey Musgraves.
Okay. So
she saw Kasey Musgraves live. I'm not sure.
It is funny to me that like we gave each other, I gave you country and you gave me rap, because in some ways country and rap are very similar because they touch on the same lyrical. They touch on rap music touches on certain lyrical themes, right? Which is usually money, is usually like hustling, finding your way out of the system, celebrating the wealth you found, that kind of thing. Country music is usually very similar, where they talk about the same themes, where it's like, a love, whether it's lost, your family, losing somebody. These are kind of very universal themes.
If I could have a beer with Jesus.
Yeah. And then there's that trash like Thomas Rhett that is just a stain upon all music. I hate that man.
I'm sure you don't listen to that before you listen to Kasey Musgraves.
I don't listen to Thomas Rhett. I don't listen to Thomas Rhett. He's garbage. But what makes a good country song is writing a theme in a way that people don't expect, right? And it's not complex lyrically in the way that rap music can be, where it's like multi-syllables and all that stuff. Like there's no, like, I guess Chris Christopherson is like the closest you get to that, like really dense lyrical writing. But like most of it is just kind of these plain sentences, but that have a lot of feeling in them, and then singers that display a lot of feeling, where you're looking at me.
They sing a lot of platitudes. Yes, they're very good at singing platitudes emotionally.
What's cool about Kasey Musgraves? But it's just because I don't know. Do you have any more? Do you want me to? Is it okay that I keep defending Kasey Musgraves?
You can keep going.
All right. So one thing that's interesting about Kasey Musgraves is you like to say like these people are all conservative politically, but Kasey Musgraves is actually not a conservative person.
Did I bring that up ever? Did I say that?
No, you tend to do that when you talk about country music.
No, it's just the people listening.
Oh, the people listening. You don't think the artists are like?
I don't know if they necessarily are, but probably.
Okay.
Most likely.
Well, yeah, Kasey Musgraves is one of the very few people out there that's actually an outspoken, progressive political.
Does she do that in her songs?
Does she do that in her songs?
Yes, or is that outside of her music?
Because it is outside of her music. It is. She doesn't do a song like Mitch McConnell Can Go Away. She does like, she kind of keeps her songs. But most country artists don't even do that. Most country artists just like, just be like, oh, I don't get involved in politics, and that's that. Kasey Musgraves does. And she deserves respect for that because nobody has done it, really.
You can also look at Ted Nugent and say that some do get involved in politics.
Yeah, Toby Keith and Ted Nugent both are like super into politics. But Toby Keith is, oh my God, he's so bad. I couldn't send it.
Do you listen to him?
No, I can't. I mean, I like Red Solo Cup.
That's what I'm interested in, is because in the old days of rock and roll, not even talking about rap, because some rappers do talk politically and, talk like NWA was definitely a starting group that talked about their struggle with the police. And I kind of like opened the dialogue of that. But I forget where I was going with this.
Mm-hmm.
Do country music artists ever sing politically? Because that's a thing in old rock, in old country, I think, is more like stating your beliefs instead of going for the collective experience that a lot of country music artists go for. Do they sing about it?
Do they sing? Yeah, I mean, some country artists do. Like Willie Nelson had a song called "Vote 'Em Out," and he came out with it in 2018, which is pretty nice.
When did Willie Nelson start country? When did he like?
When did he? I mean, he was in it in the 60s.
Yeah, so he's not this generation.
Long time.
He's like just kind of leftovers from previous generations. He's not really this generation of country.
No, this generation of country is all Luke Combs and Luke Bryan, and I mean Luke Bryan's actually a little old, but like Florida Georgia Line, Dan Shea, that kind of shit. Luke Combs is the big one though.
There's like,
but I wanted to give you Kasey Musgraves because it's a powerful female voice who's got this great, beautiful voice, and her songs
isn't saying anything though. Like Adele has a beautiful, powerful voice, and she says,
"Wait a minute,"
very powerful things.
So what's the difference between Adele's lyrical content in a song like So how would you compare those two?
She's speaking on her own experience and clearly showing emotion. Kasey
Okay.
Musgraves is speaking on a collective experience.
Okay. Uh, yeah. Now I'm starting to think I might have sent you the wrong song, but it's okay. I think you would have just felt the way you do feel about it. I think you
I
just
find a way to not like it.
I think you just hate country music.
Yeah.
And I just, you know,
Something about their voice.
something about it. You just start hearing the steel guitar and you're like, I'm out.
You're like, well, it's like they're so unoriginal. They just hop on what everybody else has already done. And they're
It's
like,
traditional.
I don't even sound, my voice doesn't sound like this, but I'm going to sing like everybody else does.
I mean,
Like,
but that's how Casey Musgrave's voice actually sounds, though.
I mean,
That's
like,
how she talks. She
that's
talks
fair,
like that.
but that's not all country. And like, why does her guitars have to sound like everybody else's guitars? Why does it all have to sound the same? Why do they all have to use the fucking
Steel guitar.
fancy ukulele? What's it called?
What do you mean? Oh, the
Mandolin.
mandolin? Well,
Yeah.
very few people use fancy ukulele.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I think it's just the genre. Like once you're in the genre, you hear all the differences. But like if you don't listen to country, you can't really hear any of the differences. You're like, oh, that's all the same. You know?
Yeah. I mean, and what you said is true about rap music, and that's like, mom can't listen to a rap song and pick out the difference. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was.
She's too used to the New Jack City. My bitch has got acid titties or whatever.
Like, I don't know how much they really enjoyed listening to Damn the one time they asked me to.
Oh, Kendrick? Yeah, I think a lot of people were like, oh, this seems important. That's kind of what happened with the Hamilton soundtrack. Like, so many people are,
Yeah, I should listen to this. Oh,
so many of my in-laws were listening to it, just being like, okay, well, you got to make sure you listen to the album a couple times first before you, before the fact, because, you got to like,
For Hamilton, they were
yeah,
telling. Is it because it's not that good? Like, I
well,
listened to some of the songs. They are bad rap songs. They are bad rap songs.
really?
Yeah.
You think so? Hamilton?
I listened to pieces, and the lyrics he's spitting are not like fluid. There's no flow.
Yeah. None of them really have flow, but the lyricism is there. Like the
But that's
words
like,
and the
flow is so important in rap.
yeah, it is
Flow
very
is very important in rap. Like, people can have very deep lines, but if they can't say it in a way that moves together, they're lost.
That makes sense. Well,
And everyone flow bites. That's why, like, I don't know, half the new rappers sounds like Migos.
who was the first one to do the Migos flow? Was it
Might be Migos. I mean, I feel like they're pretty original.
I thought it was Future. Wasn't he the first one?
He has that voice. He was the first one to do that kind of voice. He said, I saw an interview with him where he was talking about how he was just really fucked up, and he had like his mouth wired shut,
Yeah.
and he had to record that song Tony Montana.
Yeah.
Tony Montana, and that's why he's like
Yeah.
rapping.
He started a whole movement.
Yeah.
Young Thug owes that man a check.
Yeah, the dentist should get some royalties.
Someone should put a picture of that dentist and say, this is the most important man in rap music in the last 10 years.
Blow this man up.
Put him in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I thought this was a successful argument.
Successful argument, lots of disagreements.
Yeah, it's hard to argue against somebody saying that something is generic. You know? It's like, what are you supposed to do? Like, you just hate country. And every time I try to show you something that, like, might make you a little happy, you're like, no, this is the most basic thing I've ever heard in my life.
I like older stuff, I like Johnny Cash, but
You ever listen to, like, Hank Williams?
I don't think so. Maybe you've sent it to me.
Maybe. Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? It's like a Grandpa Hank song.
Yeah.
Old music.
That's a little bit too old, maybe.
A little too old for you? All right, fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
What do you want to do next week? We can.
I think we're gonna send each other a sport, right?
Yeah. All right. I got one picked out for you.
I got one picked out for you. I think I'm gonna send you a competitive speed run.
A speed run. Okay. What's the game?
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna send it to you, but it's a people racing modded Super Mario Brothers.
Okay. I'm gonna send you disc golf, like the back nine, so you don't have to watch 18 holes. That would be a
How
little
long is
bit.
it?
It's only like 40 minutes,
Okay.
but I think it's a competitive round. I think you should enjoy it.
Oh, good. I'm excited. I'm excited. And you, the viewer, should also be excited. Maybe we should send them a link so they can watch it before we do these.
That would make sense.
Okay. We should start using our social media.
It could be a good idea to use those things that we created instead of just letting them sit there.
I mean, we got 13 likes on Facebook.
Wow. Thank you to all you that liked.
Honestly, thank you.
If I see you in real life, I'll give you a high five. But not really.
How about over Zoom?
I'll give you a Zoom knuckle.
All right.
All right. Thanks for watching or listening.
Bye.
Bye.